Have you ever had an opponent hit you with knight to g5, which is called the fried liver attack? You probably have, because it's one of the most common moves. This actually leads to an 80% win rate for white. I've covered this in another video, but you will want to counterattack this so that you don't actually lose. Bishop to c5 is what you want to play, starting the Traxler Counterattack, which is deadly against white. White will most likely play knight takes f7. Here you go. You will play bishop to f2, sacrificing your bishop. 80% of the times, white will now take the bishop, and you follow up. You don't let him take your rook just yet. You follow up with a check. Knight takes e4. And guess what? You would play here. That's right, because most people would actually play king to e1, which is an immediate lost game, bringing the king back to where it came from. And with this natural move, which is the most common one, you will play queen to h4, which is the key move basically in the Traxler, because you will check the opponent's king and you will storm him with all of your pieces. Because guess what? g3 is not a defense, actually, because you just take on g3 and he cannot take back, because if he did, he loses his rook and is in check. Because look at this, he takes, you take the rook, he will need to block this check, for example by this king move, and here you will check him again, and now he will have to move somewhere and you take his queen. Isn't this great? Because you've already won the game. Write a comment right now on how powerful you think this counterattack opening is. So we know that actually white cannot take back, because that's an instant loss of the game. So what if instead white plays the most common move and takes our rook? Most people as black here would actually play rook takes with a check, but there's actually a forced mate. And mind you, this was again the most common move by white, and there's now a forced mate in 4. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not this move. It starts with knight to e4, discover check, and the king has to move. If the king moves here, it's instant checkmate, so the king will move to king to e2. And now you've seen, I've marked this already, you play queen to f2, check, the king has to go here, you check him again with your knight on b4, and he has no other choice than to take. And now all of these squares are covered, these squares are not covered, and you bring your queen in to checkmate the white king. What if your opponent doesn't play king to e1, which as we've seen is immediately losing, but instead plays king to e3? What you want to do then is still queen to h4. This is the key tactical idea. And the mistake that most people make here is they think, alright, we are safe. But guess where the king is? It's not safe. It's attacked by 3 different pieces, one of which is a queen. The king is not safe. Most people will actually take the rook, which once again leads to an immediate checkmate in 4 moves, because you will play queen to f4, where if the opponent moves to d3, you will check him with your knight. Just remember the check with the knight basically, you don't have to do much more. He will have to go here and you checkmate him. And if instead your opponent goes to e2, then it's pretty similar. You just give this check right away. The king has to move to d3, and you give this check once again. He has to take, and it's the same mating pattern you take right here. This opening is so incredibly powerful. The only thing that after this check you have to look out for is if he goes here. It's still fine, because you will develop a mating threat still with queen to h4, threatening this mate right here. If he now takes, you give him checkmate. If instead your opponent sees this threat and decides to play queen to f3, which is the best move in this position, you will want to play knight to d4, bring all of your pieces to him. Obviously he will have to respond, and he can't go anywhere where he doesn't guard this square anymore. So after he goes here, which is the most common move, you will play rook f8, adding pressure. Your opponent will not know how to handle this, and he will play something like d3, after which he has already lost the game. Now you just want to play this move, attacking the bishop, or this move, a pawn, not really sacrifice, and you will absolutely win this game, because the opponent's king is so stuck. Your rook controls this file, the queen won't be able to protect it forever, and you will have no problem converting this game. Just look for checks and tactics. If you want to click through all of the moves yourself, just as I've done in this video, I've created a study for you with which you can do this. And you can also see all of the variations right here. So if you want to do this, to study the moves and apply it right on your next game, then click the link in the description. It will take you to this post on my Patreon, where there is currently a limited time only opportunity to start a free trial to access all of my chest improvement resources, not just this one, with the link that I will not show you now. But there's also an awesome chest community that we're building. The opportunity for a free trial is limited time only, so if you want to study this opening and finally become a better chess player, reach 1500 elo and beyond, not stay stuck at below 800, then this is for you. Like the video right now and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.